What's up guys, welcome to another video at Movement Mechanics and welcome to the anatomy series of movement mechanics. So as I've mentioned in the introductory video of this series that we are going to cover various muscle groups of the human body and we are going to understand their origin, insertion, their muscle action, and I'm also going to give you one best exercise for that particular muscle group. To embark this anatomical journey on movement mechanics, I'm going to start off with the bicep muscle group and the tricep muscle group. So let's dive deep inside this topic and understand some movement mechanics. To kick off this video, we are going to start off with the bicep muscles. Now the bicep is not comprised of only one muscle, it has got two muscles, the bicep brachii long head and the bicep brachii short head. It is often confused that the bicep is just one muscle. It's wrong, it has got two muscles as I've just explained. So why is one muscle called the long head and why is the other muscle called the short head? The answer is very simple, one is longer and one is shorter. But there is a scientific explanation for that based on its origin and insertion. Now, what is origin and insertion I've explained in the introductory video of this particular series. So the bicep brachii short head starts from the coracoid process and ends at the radial tuberosity of the radius. On the other hand, the bicep brachii long head starts at the tubercle above the glenoid cavity of the humerus and ends at the radial tuberosity of the radius. Now the bicep brachii is starting slightly above the bicep brachii short head and hence it is called as a long head. Now based on this origin and insertion, the muscle actions are going to slightly change when it comes to the short head and the long head. So what are the muscle actions for the biceps? So the primary muscle action of the bicep muscle is basically flexion of your elbow. That means bending your elbow. But this is done by both the long head and short head. But there is another muscle action which is involved for the long head specifically, which is shoulder flexion. Now the bicep brachii long head is attaching the shoulder joint as well as the elbow joint. Hence the prime movement is of course going to be elbow flexion, but on the other hand it is going to help in shoulder flexion as well. But apart from elbow flexion and shoulder flexion, there are certain other movements which are involved with the bicep muscle. The bicep muscles helps in supination of your forearm. That means when your palm or your fingers are pointing upwards, that is called as a supinated position. To infer the muscle action of the bicep musculature, both the bicep brachii long head and short head do elbow flexion primarily, and the bicep brachii long head is going to do shoulder flexion as well, and both of the muscles are also going to do supination of your forearm. So all the actions we covered right now for the bicep muscles were concentric muscle actions. That means when the two muscles are contracting or coming close to each other. On the other hand, if you want to know the eccentric muscle action, it is going to be exactly opposite. That means the bicep is going to flex the elbow, that is its concentric muscle action. But when the elbow is getting extended with the help of the triceps, which we are going to understand in the later half of this video, that is the eccentric muscle action of the bicep. On the other hand, when the shoulder is getting extended, that is another eccentric muscle action of the bicep brachii long head, and when the forearm is getting pronated, at that time also that is an eccentric muscle action of the bicep muscles. Moving on from the anterior aspect of the body to the posterior aspect, we are going to understand the tricep muscle group. As the bicep is combined of two muscles, the triceps are also combined of three muscles. So the tricep brachii lateral head, the tricep brachii short head, and the tricep brachii medial head. So what is the origin and insertion of these three muscles of the tricep? So the tricep brachii lateral head starts or originates from the infraglenoid process of the scapula and inserts, that means ends at the olecranon process of the ulna. The bicep brachii short head starts at the posterior humerus and ends at the olecranon process of the ulna. And the medial head also starts at the posterior humerus and ends at the olecranon process of ulna. Moving forward from the origin and insertion of the tricep muscles, let's understand what is the muscle action or what does the tricep muscle do. Again, a bicep muscle flexes the elbow, whereas the tricep muscle is going to extend the elbow over here because it is at the posterior aspect of the bicep. So when a bicep muscle acts as an agonist or the prime mover, at that time triceps are going to act as an antagonist and vice versa. So what are the muscle actions for the triceps? First, of course, it is going to be elbow extension for the short head and the medial head as well as the lateral head. But for the lateral head, there is going to be another job which it needs to do, which is shoulder extension. Now remember, the bicep brachii long head was doing shoulder flexion, hence the tricep brachii lateral head is going to be doing shoulder extension. Apart from that, all the tricep muscle groups are going to do pronation of the forearm. And these are all concentric muscle actions. And what would be the eccentric muscle actions? Of course, the opposite. So the eccentric muscle actions would be flexion of the elbow, supination of the forearm, and flexion of the shoulder. Hush, we are done with the anatomical part for this video. I know learning anatomy is very boring and very vigorous, but it is an important part of human body. It is an important part of sports science and in general as well. So moving on from that boring anatomical part to the practical aspect of the biceps and the triceps, I'm going to give you one exercise for both the bicep and the tricep, which I personally love to do. So when it comes to the bicep muscles, it's just a simple barbell curl or a dumbbell curl which can be done in order to get maximum benefits. May it be gaining your strength or may it be gaining that hypertrophic changes. On the other hand, when it comes to the triceps, if you want to engage all the three muscle groups of the triceps, the lateral head, the short head and the medial head, doing a tricep push down on a rope could be the exercise for you guys, because that engages all the three muscle groups of the triceps. Alright guys, I hope you have understood the origin, insertion and the muscle actions of both the biceps and the tricep muscle groups, and also you have loved the exercise which I have given for the biceps and the triceps. So if you have loved this video, make sure to like, the share, the subscribe as well as the notification bell icon so that you never miss a video whenever I am uploading a new one. Also, if you have got any doubts or any comments regarding this video or any other video suggestions which you want me to cover in the future, make sure you drop that in the comment section. Till then, see you in the next one.